I think my voice is loud enough, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, do you want me to quieten down again? Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm a Baha'i. Baha'u'llah, who we consider to be the divine physician for our age, wrote in his mystical writing, The Hidden Words, probably the greatest mystical writing I've ever read, O Son of Spirit, my first counsel is this: possess a pure, kindly, and radiant heart, that thine may be a sovereignty ancient, imperishable, and everlasting. Hopefully we'll have time to expand on the healing implications of that first counsel. The Baha'i faith believes that science and religion goes hand in hand. So in regard to, I hope I don't just this over, in regard to healing and the medical profession, medical science is something that Baha'i faith defers to. We all should go to a competent physician when there's anything wrong. Baha'u'llah says, though, that medical science is still in its infancy. We believe we've come a long way. But in the future, instead of the reliance on medication and surgery, we will be doing more work with elements, not elements, elements, stuff that we put into our alimentary canal, herbs, vegetables, fruits. There will come a time when we will be able to use what we eat as a way of balancing our body so that a lot of disease doesn't happen. Of course, disease will always happen. That's the way God planned it. You know, unfortunately. No, I can't say that. We die. That's the way God planned it. There's all sorts of tribulations and crises that we happen in life, and they always will happen. We can make the world a better place, more on that in a little bit. So there's some other things that medical science will discover in the future, because it's still an infant. You know, it's really only a couple hundred years old, the medical science that we know of. You know, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. We know when you are in contact with an infectious person, you get infected. Sometimes that happens really quickly and violently and powerfully. The reverse can happen. The Baha'u'llah says there's a contagion of health that we are yet to fully realise and fully research at a scientific level, so that it's not as powerful as infectious ill health, but nevertheless it's something that we may well be able to harness better longer term by, if people are healthy, spreading the health. Physical touch demonstrated that beautifully, how powerful that is. And we all know that there's been a scarcity of research about physical touch. We're starting to have, what do they call them? Healing animals? No, there's a term for it. Yeah. Very powerful, but touch, human touch. I know when I've worked as a psychiatric nurse in a hospital, it's just so many people, so many patients want touch. Then, of course, there's spiritual healing. And I won't even get into the Holy Spirit. I think most people in this room know personally, know of stories, just how powerful the Holy Spirit can be to work miracles. We don't need to go there, and it's totally independent of anything we do. race, justice, whatever it is. Not for us to question or figure out. There is another kind of spiritual healing that Bahai talks about, and that is when a strong spiritual person can influence, can help a poorer, ailed person. And Bahai calls it spiritual healing. But it is interesting that I turned into a psychologist. It's not interesting that I turned into a psychologist in my journey, but as a psychologist, it seems to me that that aspect of spiritual healing is actually what, it's science and religion going hand in hand. It is psychotherapy. There's something I know when I was my years at Lifeline. There were half a dozen people there, no training other than the Lifeline training. I would entrust my well-being with them ahead of any of the qualified psychologists and psychiatrists because they just had a spirit. They just knew how to connect and we felt better. It's like almost a contagion of health. So, psychotherapy, it's interesting in my training involved, it's nearly 40 years ago I started my training in mental health. We were told there's a biological, psychological, social and spiritual component to the human being. And of course then for the rest of my training in mental health, biological, psychological and social were dealt with. No one touched the spiritual. No one knows about the spiritual, it seems to me, except spiritual people. Well, they don't even know, can you? Sometimes you know when it touches you, you don't know the science. Well, is there a science to it? It's still a mystery. It's interesting that psychotherapy has borrowed from religion in many of its tools. There's one of the new tools on the block. Mindfulness. And that's straight out of Zen. You know, it's and that we call it mindfulness, and we wrap it up with other things. And I shouldn't poo-poo the science of it. One of the things that I think is very powerful, and we will talk about when we talk about my first council, is a thing called cognitive dissonance. I better say it because cognitive dissonance is when you have a thought or a belief, but you act in a different way. You mightn't act in a different way all the time, but you act in a different way. And that cognitive dissonance, that the two don't match together, creates a level of frustration and discordance within one's psyche, and results often in anger. And anger focused within, which is what one interpretation of what depression is. And you're not happy with yourself because you're at odds with yourself. You have this thought, this belief system, but you act a different way. And this world's full of it now. We have all these, the internet, that, and for the kids especially, it's difficult because there's so many demands, and how do they maintain something that's solid and pure and that keeps them not going all over the place. So, let us return. O Son of Spirit, my first counsel is this: possess a pure, kindly and radiant heart. I'm going to focus on the whole starts with his first counsel by saying, O Son of Spirit. What does that say? It says we're all spiritual beings. Let's just focus on that. We're spiritual beings. That takes priority. Possess a pure heart. What's a pure heart? How in the world can any of us be pure? We're born, we sin, we've done all sorts of things. You know, I'm 60, Chinese, I'm 66. They're always over there. I know my body is far from pure anymore. You know, it's starting to degrade in old ways, you know. What is a pure heart? Well, I reckon there's a couple of things to it. Number one, I reckon there's no dissonance in a pure heart. Oh, by the way, why do we use heart? The heart we know, you know, it's just an organ to go pom 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 pom. Why do we always go to the heart when it comes to the heart of the matter, or for love, or for, you know, the real true spirit? Why is it the heart? I've got no idea, but I think it's not just the mind. As a psychologist, I'm fully aware we can have these cognitions. You know, we have 67,000 odd thoughts in a day. Try and keep tabs of that. Why is it that we only ever focus on the horrible ones? And why do they keep on? That's one of the things I used to do when I was helping people with their spirit, was to remind them, don't be a victim of your own thinking. Because this is just another organ like the heart. It has 67,000 odd synapses. So don't just, oh, that synapse, I must follow this, I'm a victim of this. No. Rise above it. A pure heart, a pure mind, a pure heart, a pure attitude will say, get behind me, say there's some term that comes to a Christian view of it. But from a Bahai perspective, it is simply, that's just darkness. Focus on the light. Focus on the good. And that's the other thing about the purity. If you are what you, what's the old saying? I think, therefore I am. Guess what? If I am reading God's word, if I am reading, focusing on pure and goodly deeds and good thoughts, that's who I become. I am those thoughts because I think them all the time. If I go over to this area of pornography or this area of material greed, guess what? That's what I become. So the purity of heart, I think, is becoming that person that you aspire to be, that you know you should be. It takes hard work. I just need to go through the pure, kindly and radiant heart, yeah? Kindly. What's kindliness? It is that concern, loving concern for others. And when you are kind, you cannot help but want to help people. So when you help people, you're actually serving them. You're doing unto others as you expect that, you know, what they want. The golden rule is in all of our faiths. A kindly heart does for people. Guess what the science of psychology has discovered in the past 30 years? Service to others, helping others, makes you happier, makes you more fulfilled. But we also know if you simply help others because it will make me happy, that's not going to work. It's got to be that pure kindliness, that pure I do for others because my heart goes out to you. Radiant. Pure, kindly and radiant heart. Who hasn't experienced the effect of a radiant soul walking into your life? How powerful is that? health contagion. Also, when one radiates, there's no room for anything to get in. It's like a resilience factor that happens. And there was something I wanted to say about heart, but I think I said it. So I'll just finish with that quote. O Son of Spirit, my first counsel is this: possess a pure, kindly, and radiant heart, that thine may be a sovereignty ancient, imperishable, and everlasting. Thank you.